What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in our country and in Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market. Remember that new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. We have another set of changes to the stimulus package, even just from last night, and a lot going on here in our country. Let's jump right in. We have several major races, election races going on here in the U.S. right now. It's not a major set of races. It's kind of a minor set of races, but there are races, election races going on here in a couple states and several different city mayor races going on here in the United States. Glenn Youngkin is projected to win Virginia's governor race. As you can see here, he's projected to win Virginia's gubernatorial contest, defeating former Governor Terry McAuliffe, the Democrat, and becoming the first Republican to win a statewide election in the Old Dominion since 2009. The Associated Press called the race at 12:37 a.m. You could see here their race is, he had 50.7% of the votes, with Terry McAuliffe with 48.6%. Also, the New Jersey governor race is still too close to call as of just 30 minutes ago, with 86% of the votes counted right now. Phil Murphy from the Democrat Party is currently leading by a slim majority with 49.9% of the votes. Jack Ciattarelli, who is the Republican, has 49.3% of the votes. It looks like he's behind by about 15,000 votes, approximately, with 86% of the votes in the New Jersey race. It's currently called a toss-up and cannot be called yet. It's still too close to call in the New Jersey governor race. In Minneapolis, a major vote, voters rejected a ballot measure that would have dismantled the police department and created a new Department of Public Safety. In the city's mayoral race, embattled incumbent J.R. Fry led in the first round of ranking choice voting, according to the Minnesota Secretary of State's office. In Buffalo, incumbent Mayor Byron Brown, who lost the Democratic primary to Democratic Socialist India Walton, ran a write-in campaign against Walton. A poll last week had Brown leading by 17 points. He appears to be leading by 10,000 votes as of Tuesday night in a write-in campaign. Wow. That's absolutely crazy. The Associated Press projects that Michelle Wu from the Democratic Party has won the Boston mayor race, and she will become the first Asian American and the first woman to lead the city of Boston. She says in her victory speech, "What we deserve is a Boston where all of us are seen, heard, treasured, and valued. A Boston for everyone." Eric Adams from the Democratic Party as well is projected to win the New York City mayor race, defeating Republican Curtis Sliwa. So as you can see here, multiple different cities and a few states will be changing here across our country, and even a few even yet undecided. So I will keep you up to date on this. Let me know your thoughts on these. Are you surprised? Are you happy? Sad? Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I will keep you up to date here. Last night, we had Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announce that very good change on the addition to the stimulus package, that they will be adding the new prescription drug pricing addition that will lower the cost of prescription drug pricing for almost everybody in this next stimulus package, particularly for Medicare and for private insurance, for prescription drugs that are not brand new to the market. We'll have to see how this all works out. once they pass the bill, we see the legislation and see exactly how it works out. But it is going to lower the cost of prescriptions. Remember that there's over 100 million adults on prescription drugs, and this will significantly lower the cost of them. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that the cost of insulin, his exact words, would go from $600 for a vial to $35. But that's not all. We actually have a new change here today, a new addition to the stimulus package. As I said, they always seem to do at the last moment, they always seem to put new things in at the last moment. And this stimulus package has not been any different than the last ones. They're starting to add a lot of things in here at the last moment. And yesterday, with the prescription drug pricing that will help out over 100 million Americans, and now today, yet again. You can see here, House Democrats put paid family and medical leave back into the bill. If you remember here, this was dropped just a few days ago. Now they put it back into the stimulus package. House Democrats have amended the enormous social spending framework at the heart of President Biden's economic agenda to include paid family leave, a popular provision that had met resistance from Senator Joe Manchin. Dun, dun, dun. And was thought to have been removed from the package. But now they're adding it back in. The change was announced Wednesday morning in a letter from Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who said that the House Rules Committee would meet later in the day in a hearing to consider the changes. Interesting. But Pelosi stopped short of announcing a House Rules Committee vote on the package, which would indicate that the House leaders were poised to bring the bill to the floor for a vote. Instead, the Speaker said there remains a few outstanding issues yet to be resolved, which would prevent the legislation from passing through the Senate in its current form. Gee, I wonder if she means Joe Manchin. And because Pelosi has vowed not to force House lawmakers to vote on anything that can't win 50 votes in the Senate, she's waiting for negotiators to iron out those remaining differences before the full House will consider the bill. It had been my intention throughout this process to put on the House floor and pass a bill that would pass the Senate in the same form, which means that she wants to pass the same bill in the House and the Senate. If you remember from the third stimulus check package, that they passed very different bills at first. So the House actually passed, in the third stimulus check package, the House passed the bill that had the $15 an hour minimum wage. It had the stimulus checks in there for single individuals that went all the way up to $100,000. And then they changed it significantly. The Senate had to remove the $15 an hour minimum wage because the Senate parliamentarian ruled it couldn't be in there. And then they voted on it, and they only got 42 senators to say yes on that. They lowered the income threshold for the third stimulus check and from $100,000 to $80,000. But then they added in that $10,200 unemployment provision. By the way, I want to show you guys this article here that just came out on November 1st. It's November, and the IRS is issuing more refunds relating to jobless benefits. I've been seeing a lot of comments from people saying, I never got my unemployment $10,200 tax-free benefits from the third stimulus check package. The IRS is still sending these out. This is literally as of November 1st. Check this out. We're just a few weeks away from Thanksgiving Day, but the IRS continues to roll out some 2020 tax refunds. So check your bank accounts now if you lost work during the pandemic and filed a tax return early last year. This is how behind the IRS is, guys. Very, very far behind. On Monday, the IRS said it recently sent roughly 430,000 refunds to taxpayers who paid taxes on unemployment compensation that ended up being excluded from income tax for 2020 after a key but limited change in the federal income tax rules. This is that stimulus change from the third stimulus check package from the very last minute, which Senator Joe Manchin was involved with, where they made the first $10,200 of unemployment income tax-free. Okay, they kind of amend this for you automatically for 2020. This retroactive unemployment income for 2020. They could do this as well for 2021 in any of these upcoming stimulus packages, this one or the next one. Remember, there is going to be another stimulus package coming after this. Okay, so the IRS just sent out 430,000 refunds on Monday for these. Okay, so they're still sending these out. The refunds will put more than $510 million into wallets now, averaging $1,189 each. So the average refund was almost $1,200. Some people got more, some people got less. I've seen a lot of people in the comments previously that said they got over $3,000. So yeah, so literally they're still sending these out. So if you're waiting on your unemployment tax refund, they literally just sent some out on Monday. So fingers crossed that yours is in this batch. They're still sending them out in batches, guys. So the IRS is literally unbelievably behind. This is the latest round of refunds being issued to many who have filed their taxes before an abrupt change in the tax rules. This change only applies to jobless benefits received in 2020, not in 2021. So this is only for unemployment. If you had unemployment income for 2020, not 2021. As I said, they could do this for 2021 as well. In one of these stimulus packages, it's one of those things they could negotiate in. I will keep you up to date on if they do this. So if we go back here, the House Democrats have put paid family and medical leave back into the bill. It's probably going to be 4 weeks of paid family and medical leave, where if you're having a baby, if you have an illness, like you caught the virus, or if you have to care for a loved one who caught the virus, the government will literally pay a certain percentage or the majority of your paycheck from the government, so that if your small business does not have to pay for it. We'll have to see what the details end up being here. What's interesting here is that Joe Manchin was just saying yesterday he was blaming the Senate rules for the paid family and medical leave being removed from the package, which he was kind of against. But now the House is saying that they're putting it back in the bill. Again, we'll have to see what Joe Manchin says about this. So, literally within the last 24 hours, paid family and medical leave and prescription drug pricing has been added back into the stimulus package. So these are really two stimulus items that were just added in, like I said, within the last 24 hours. The prescription drug pricing alone will be a significant cost savings for probably over 100 million Americans. That's a lot of people that will literally save money every single month when they go to buy their prescriptions. And in many cases, life-saving prescriptions. The paid family and medical leave will be something that when you have something like you're having a baby or you have a serious illness, that you'll be able to get paid and be able to take that time off, and the government will pay for it. So it's something that when you have an emergency like that, that the government will be there for you and kind of step in and pay for that. There's been a lot of criticism that that was removed from the bill because proponents for that say that we're one of the only first world countries that do not offer this on a government level. So the vast majority of other first world countries already offer this, and we are one of the only first world countries that do not offer this type of thing. So as of right now, both of these things are added back into the package. The big issue here is that we have to get the votes and pass the package. So just remember that Joe Manchin just 24 to 48 hours ago was saying he wants to see the bill in writing. He wants to look it over. He wants to have the Congressional Budget Office score the bill, basically do the math on the bill, make sure it's fully paid for. They have The bill at 1.75 trillion, somewhere around that. They have pay fors at 1.99 trillion, so it is fully paid for and then some. They have over $200 billion more paid for. That is enough to put an extra stimulus check in there for adults as well. Here, we'll have to see how much the um, pay fors for, or how much the paid family medical leave costs. What's interesting is that the prescription drug pricing is actually a negative cost. Okay. When they put the prescription drug pricing in there, it actually cost less than zero because it saves the government money. Okay. Not only because if you think about it, it saves people money, the average everyday person. Think about you, if you, it saves you money. It actually saves the government money too. It's going to save the government hundreds of billions of dollars. So what's interesting there is that they can actually, and I'm just kind of throwing some ideas out here, they can actually remove some of the other tax hikes out of the bill because what they're, and I'm just throwing some ideas out here, they can actually remove some of the other tax hikes if they want to and save them for the next stimulus package to pay for the next stimulus package. Because remember, there's going to be another stimulus package because basically this is kind of a half stimulus package. Remember that it was originally going to be 3.5 trillion. And what they're doing right now is they're saying, well, what we're going to do right now is because this package is kind of taking a while, we're just going to pass what we can agree on right now, which is around half of it, 1.75 trillion, which is exactly half. Pass that, then pass the physical infrastructure bill, which is already passed in the Senate. That's just literally like a procedural vote. They just need to vote on it. Then it'll be passed literally the same day. Okay. Pass those two. So pass half the stimulus package, 1.75. Then they're going to come back around for the other half and whatever new things they put in there. Maybe a big Social Security raise on top of the cost of living adjustment raise, the 5.9% that was just announced. Okay. That's already set in stone. That's going to happen for the January Social Security payments. But there's been two other big Social Security raises, bills or proposals that were just announced in the last week or so, to raise Social Security benefits by several $100s per month. $200 per month is one of the proposals. Okay. Um, but that could be included in the next bill, as well as a lot of the things that they haven't agreed on. So they want to pass this first half of the stimulus package, we'll call it 1.75 trillion, which is exactly half of the 3.5 trillion they originally wanted. Pass that now, then come back around for the other half of the bill and try to pass what they can there and put new things in there as well and pass the second half of the bill second. So that's basically the kind of the game plan, so to speak, here. So pass what they can now, pass the physical infrastructure package, then come back around for the second half of the stimulus package, maybe even a large Social Security raise, maybe even a monthly check like they have for the children, the child tax credit, those monthly stimulus checks. Maybe have something like that for adults in the next package as well. Because remember, that's going to be before the next midterm elections when the House and the Senate go up for re-election. And the Democrats are probably going to do everything they can to try to keep the House and Senate. I'm sure they really enjoy having the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So they're probably going to try to do everything they can to try to please the American people. While Republicans think they're going to take back the House and Senate, Democrats think that they're going to try to keep the House and Senate. So there's probably going to be a lot of very transformative things in, well, not only this package, but also the next one as well. So I think there's going to be a lot of big things here in this next one as well. Big Social Security raise, maybe even a monthly check like the children have. Remember that monthly check is expected to be extended for 1 year. But there might be something like that for adults as well in the next package as well. So yeah, a lot of big things going on here right now. Make sure to email, call, and tweet your senators. Say, hey, put a stimulus check in there for adults as well, in addition to the stimulus checks for children. They're literally adding things in here at the last moment. In the last 24 hours, they added this huge prescription drug price reduction plan, which if you take prescriptions, they're going to be reduced here in the future when they pass this package. They just added in paid family and medical leave, which is going to be a big thing as well if you ever go through that, as well as they're still adding things in here at the last moment. Remember, the second stimulus check for adults and children was added in actually after they wrote the bill and 6 days before they passed the bill on the second stimulus check. So email, call, and tweet your senators and your representatives and say, hey, make sure to add in a stimulus check for adults in addition to the checks that are in there for children called the child tax credits. So I will keep you up to date with everything going on here. They're adding in a lot of things at the very last moment. So don't miss any videos. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. Just click the subscribe button. And new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is that video about how there's 2 new big proposals to raise Social Security benefits. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.